What's going on, everyone? Peachy here, and today I'm going to be telling you on how to make a wizard in Black Desert that doesn't look old. Now, we all have this problem like, oh my god, I don't want to play an old wizard. I want to make him look younger, more healthier, more muscular. I know the way you guys feel. It's hard, but with the character creation now, you can actually spend time with this before the game releases. So, what we're gonna do is that first of all, we're gonna go into character action, clothes, and remove his helmet. That way, it'll be easier for us to do this. Secondly, you want to go into the customization and go to face. Now, you want this face right here. Or this one. It depends on how you want it to look, but this one is preferable. He has as little wrinkles as possible compared to that one. You can see all the wrinkles here on the sides that he has compared to this face here. He looks more shiny. So we're gonna run with this face right here. You can also change the skin tone if you want to. Make him shiny or whatnot. Making him shiny and sweaty. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna keep it default. So what you want to do first of all is you want to go into facial hair and you want to remove all the facial hair that you can. Now he looks really weird, but we're gonna fix that, guys. Don't worry, we'll get there. You want to go into face shape. This is where the magic happens, guys. We're going to make a elf-looking wizard. It can be like a half elf, half human kind of thing. So the first thing we want to do, obviously, being a half elf, we want to increase his ears. So we're just gonna drag that up and we're gonna drag his earlobes down or upwards as well, so it looks a little bit like this. Now, this is pretty much what you like. You can change the angle, you can have them looking forward, you can have them looking more backwards. It all depends on how you want your character to look in the end. That's why I'm asking you as a person, just spend a little time in this character creation when you do this, just so you know what you want your character to look like. Alright, some will like that. The hair will later on cover his ears, so we're gonna have to go back into this just to make him look more pretty. So, first of all the people usually have their eyebrows more down and their eyes more closed. So what we want to do is we want to increase the way his eyebrows are placed. So we want to just pull them up a little bit. Make sure you get all the eyebrows. Not if you pull just left, it just broadens his eyes. So make sure you don't do that. You want to keep it on the right, just pulling it up so you get everything. Now also remember that if you can see this line right here, between this, because you can actually move this part here as well. Just make sure that you keep control over where his eyes go, because if you can see the markers here, they go together with the other eye, just on the other side as well. So you don't want to do too much. I can show you by doing this. That will look weird. That will look weird. Alright. So we're going to pull that down a little bit, just like that. We are now going to make his nose smaller, because they usually have smaller noses, elves. We're going to also pull his nose down, because they usually have more pointy nose. Now we're gonna make him thinner. So pull pretty much everything upwards, really. Just pull everything upwards. Make him more sexy. Be careful with this one though, because if you mess that one up, it will look weird. So if I just do this, it will look weird. You need some sort of balance into everything that you do. Make sure everything looks alright. You can also pull that down a little bit. We should also change his eyes. We can pull that up, and we're gonna pull his eyes, his eyelids up. Just a wee bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. It still looks weird to a lot of people in here. Just wait until we're done, alright? So, have we done this? Have we fixed his muscular face? No, we haven't. Alright. Let me just sit back here and let's take a look at where he looks weird. He looks weird right there. Alright. We're gonna go back into face shape and we're gonna fix his face. There we go. Now he looks bony as hell. which is kind of the idea behind all of this. He's not supposed to look like a regular human, right? He's supposed to look like an elf. Also remember, when we put on the beard later on, it will cover a lot of his face. So these details down here are not as important as the details up on his eyes. So right here. This is the important part. You can also increase his forehead or decrease it, whatever you want. Make it sideways or not. Alright, so. To move along, we're just gonna drag his eyebrows a wee bit down, because it looked kind of weird. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna go into makeup. Now, most people are thinking, makeup? On a wizard? On an old man? Really? Yeah. I tell you, yeah. Just increase the density, reflex, shine, and area. Make it black so you know where you want to have it. And we want this one, because this one cover up basically his entire eye. You can see this. The density between where his eyes is, it stretches all the way over here. Up to his eyebrow. So, what you want to do is you can take down the reflect to 10 and the shine to 10. That way, it doesn't look like this later on, but it will look somewhat like this. Can you guys see the difference now when I do this and this? He doesn't look as, like he hasn't slept in days. So, we want to put this on about 40. You want to make it sure that you don't have him having glittery eyes and stuff. But you do want to make sure that it doesn't look like he's wearing a lot of makeup. Alright, let's put it to 60. Because if you zoom out, it doesn't look like he's wearing makeup. It just looks like, well, it looks better, really. Instead of this, you get this. Alright, 50 it is. Let's say 50, guys. Also, you guys will have to customize this for yourself, because all screens have different resolutions and different brightness settings, but this looks good on my screen. Alright, so we're gonna move over to the, no we're not, sorry. We're gonna move over to the lips. The lips, guys, the lips. And we want to actually brighten his lips a little bit. Just a wee bit. So I'm gonna go with the default one, and I'm gonna go with density of 20 instead of 10. Now, we can move over to the eyes. The eyes will define your character. You can do whatever you want, really. You can have, well, reptile-looking eyes. You could have hearts, you can have whatever you want. But I'm gonna run with this one, because this one looks amazing in my opinion. So, we're gonna do the opacity at 100. You guys probably are wondering why. Well, let me just do, no, sorry. We're not gonna have the opacity of that. I was just kidding, guys. Don't worry, don't worry. I was just kidding. We're gonna have it like this. And this will make your character really spooky. I'm gonna go with 80 there. He looks somewhat like Merlin. You know the Merlin series or the movies or the games or whatnot? When he actually uses a spell, his eyes fire up gold. So we're gonna have it somewhat like that. Then we're gonna move over to the eyeline. Now, usually people like eyeliner, huh? I don't want an eyeliner. Yes, you do. Because when you do an eyeliner, you define the eyes more. So, we want some eyeliner. I'll just show you which eyeliners are possible. You can have pretty much any of these as long as it defines your eyes. So, we're gonna run with that one. We're gonna decrease the density to 50. As you can see, it's not a big change, but it is a little change. So, 20. Bottom line is not that important because it just changes bottom liner, which is not very necessary for you to actually do a makeup on. So we're gonna leave that empty. Now, this is totally optional if you want to make a tattoo. I find having a tattoo on a wizard mandatory. So, I used, let's see if I can find it. I used this one. I did reduce the density and I made it black. Because my hair on this character is going to be black. So, reduce the density, so it's just a little bit. It's not a lot. You can actually reduce it to 20 if we want to. It's just a little bit to cover up even more of how old he actually is. Wrinkles should be nothing. Alright, so we're done there. Now, we want to go over to hair. Alright, so you can choose whatever hair you want, but I suggest you go with this hair because it looks the youngest you can possibly make on this character. Unless you are really good and you're better than me at making this, you could use this hair if you're better and you know how to make your character younger. So, we want as much hair as possible to cover up his age, which we'll do with this, and it does fit very nicely with the beard. We also want to change it to black, just pure black for now. This is totally up to you what you want to change it to, and you can customize it whatever you want. But we're going to increase everything just to max everything out and reduce the shine. There we go. Alright, we're going back into face. And now we're going to facial hair. This is what I told you in the beginning of the clip, that you want to remove all facial hair so we can do the character. Now, you want to go into beards, and you want this one. You're like, this one? Really? Yes. Because the character that I made now doesn't have a lot under here. And that, therefore, we can reduce the curl level, and we can actually reduce the length of it to 80. Now, we want to go into moustache. I know it pronounces differently, but I'm gonna say moustaches just for pure amusement. And you want, if I can find it, this one, the second one. And yet again, we're gonna reduce the curl level, and we're gonna make it black. Sideburns, same thing here. We want this one. Reduce the curl level, increase the length to maximum, just so it fits the rest of the beard. Make sure everything is on maximum apart from the beard. Now, we want to go into default facial. This is a crucial part of any beard, because if you actually increase the density, reduce the shine, and increases the area, you guys can actually see the difference that's happening on the character's face as I click this. Alright, so what you want to run with is this one. As you can see, it increases, that one. It increases the amount of facial hair that actually pops up, and it makes the beard thicker, which makes it look even cooler, really. Now, eyebrows. You probably want to choose this for yourself, but I found that I liked these couple of eyebrows right here. You could use that one to match the tattoo, and you can cover up the tattoo as well. Well, yeah, let's go with this one. Alright, so we're going to reduce the curl as always, because curly hair on this game actually does not look good. So, we're going to reduce it to a little grayer color, so it doesn't look weird. And we're going to go back into the default brow. Now, this is the background of the eyebrow. Increase the density to maximum and area to maximum. If I do this, you guys can see the difference. This is the thickness of the hair, just like we did on the facial hair. This gives the thickness in the eyebrows. Now, I like the second one. You can also change the height of all of them. So if you rather want to go with this one, you can decrease the height until you actually hit the eyebrows. But we're going to run with the second one. And we're going to do that a slider. Just a slider grayer. Guys, we're almost done. We're almost there. Alright, so, body. Now, the body, you guys have probably seen the body of this character. He doesn't look good. I mean, he thinks he's sexy holding that stuff, but he's really not. So, what you really want to do on the body section is either increase or decrease his height. We're going to have it normal, and body shape. Whatever you want, really. If you want a more bigger wizard, or you want a smaller wizard, that's totally up to you. Now, you're never going to spend your time naked anyway, unless, well, Yeah, you know. So we're just gonna make him a little bit muscly because, well, why not? Wizards usually don't have a lot of muscles, but mine does. So we're gonna do 20-20-20. And we could actually give him a tattoo as well if we wanted to. Make it black so we see where it is. And, well, that looks kind of nice. Alright, let's do a little bit of an invert so it gets a little bit more silvery. So let's do 20 in invert and reduce the density. Because tattoos usually fade a little bit, right? So we wanted about 65. And guys, we're pretty much done. If you guys now look at this character, he doesn't look that too old. He looks more like an elf. And if you zoom in, he doesn't look that old either. I've just decreased his age by 10 or 15 years. So this guy might actually be 420 now, instead of 400. No, but you get the point, guys. I wish you all the luck in the world in making a more younger wizard. But this is all from me. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you will share this with your friends. Thank you for my time here. My name is Peachy. If you like what you saw, follow the stream, follow the channel. I'll link both links down below if you're watching my previous videos. I'll see you next time. Live long and prosper, people.